Welcome to SA Sports Show, Anzac Edition. I'm Greg Anderson, my co-host Barry Curtin.
Ando.
Very special weekend.
It's a great weekend.
You know, it is absolutely fantastic. And I just love, you know, in all sports,
Yeah.
you know, to I suppose, celebrate, commemorate Anzac weekend and fantastic, of course, what the AFL get to do because of, you know, how big the AFL are and just so respectful.
It's one of my favourite weekends,
respectful.
Ando. It always has been. It always has been. I did a couple of years in the national service. You really get the feel of why we celebrate.
Yeah.
That's what you get. I mean, it's okay. Before I did that, I think, oh yeah, well, it was a great holiday and whatever. But after serving for a couple of years, and you really get a feel for why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Why we are doing this.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's one of my favourite.
Well, it's about freedom, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, my word.
You know, and you know, unfortunately, where the world's going, we've still got troops
Sadness.
going over
Yeah.
to fight for our freedom. And I think since World War I, World War II, I think we've had 6 wars.
Exactly.
Afghanistan and those ones, and we've just had so many brave Australians.
People don't know,
and they don't know. See, they don't
realise.
They don't realise. That's why it's just wonderful that all codes of sports, celebrate this this great weekend, and the AFL, obviously because they're the beast, just do it so beautifully.
Yeah,
and
all the
really
RSLs. You know, they have their dawn
long necks.
services
It'll be fantastic.
Look, it's just a great morning. I was at one a couple of years ago at a morning where they were playing a two-up, which is illegal. And it's illegal. You're not allowed to do it. I mean, the police can still call on you and whatever. And I thought to myself, wow, I don't really want to be caught up in this. Because the police might turn up or whatever. I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
But as I thought, no, I'm going in to have a go here. And I'm a bit of a punter. Walked in there, and there's a policeman flicking the coins.
Is that right? Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, he's flicking the coins.
Yeah.
That's what Anzac Day is all
the
about.
women and the men of Australia, just absolutely fantastic.
I'm sad. I get very sad about it when I find that the youth of today don't understand what it's all about. Don't really understand what it's all about. I think it should be something that is drummed home to them at a very young age. School and whatever. It should be drummed into them because
you're very right. But also, we do have generations, and like mine, that do understand that has been a lot more wars since World War II, and we've had friends that have gone over and
I've seen lives ruined, mate.
And that's it.
Totally ruined.
Yeah.
With Vietnam and whatever, just lives totally ruined from great young men to, guys walking around with plastic hips and things like this. You have
it's their weekend, isn't it? It's their weekend.
It's their weekend.
Brilliant.
And they do it really well. They do it really well. All sports do it really well.
Now, it was a bit of South Australians weekend last weekend, of course, because Crows got some form back and so did the Power. Absolutely fantastic.
Stress-free Friday.
Loved it. Wasn't that fantastic? I had a great, and I think you said it last week that you did say it last week that you said that they play well in the West.
Yes.
And they put a great show on, and they never looked like losing.
No, they didn't.
Halfway
look
during
like
that,
losing.
probably that first quarter, you could see they were switched on.
Yeah.
Travis spoke. Wow. What about his form at the moment? And you look at.
We said that at the start of the year, though, Ando.
Yeah.
If you take when the two captains issue came up, one of the guys leading that charge was Travis Spoke because the amount of pressure that he was under as the AFL captain of the football club wasn't just Saturday afternoon. This is all through the week.
Footy's changed.
I have to go to Melbourne.
And I've always said it. I've always said it's changed.
Right. And
it's changed.
It's a massive load off his shoulders now.
Well, it used to be just going out there and having a chat, after you've tossed the coin and, just shouting a few little instructions because the coach done everything. And fitness coaches, you had your staff that would get everyone motivated. Now it's media. Now it's press releases. Now it's,
fly to Melbourne for this, for the promotion.
Exactly, So I think it worked well.
Fox footy and all this stuff that goes on. Everybody wants the captain.
Yeah. Rosie, Butters, Dersma, Bonner,
what can
Marshall,
you say, mate? What about these young
fast
blokes?
legs, good players.
They are good players. And I think we said it last week that a few years ago when you got these kids in at 18, you would say, okay, he needs 2 years in the Magpies and then he'll be okay because you'll build him up and he'll get strong.
Bonner's one of those actually.
Now,
he's really impressed me.
Who's that?
Bonner.
Riley Bonner.
He's a bit stronger. He's not getting knocked off the ball quite as easy as he was last year.
He's bigger, stronger. But these kids are now coming out from TAC Cup ready to go. That's the difference between Because they're saying this is probably a super draft. Yeah. And really, when you look at the blokes that have been drafted, how well they're playing.
They
Sam
prepare
Walsh
them from about 15, 16 now.
That's right.
You know?
That's
and
right.
we go to the Crows. Eddie Betts, 300, probably the goal of the year.
Yeah,
I stood up clapping in the caravan park. It was just absolutely
Great
fantastic.
goal.
6 goals. Great for Brodie Smith, 150 Boldstone.
Which got overshadowed, didn't it, Brodie Smith's 150? Well, because of Eddie's 300 and his goal.
And his goal. But let me tell you, Brodie
Smith
kicked 2 cracking goals himself. So he's played a great game for us. He's 150th. Don't worry about that.
But if you ask Joe Blow on the street, they wouldn't know that Brodie kicked those 2 goals, 150 games. He's been a really good
Alex
player.
Keith, fantastic game. We look at young Murphy, who's really come of age. Luke Greenwood, great return. Great to see him back in full flight. And unfortunately, Wayne Malira, who was playing so well, shoulder, AC.
You can ill afford to lose him.
I want to say, we've got a great show today. We've got a great show. We have. But we've got to shoot over to the latest news with Bridget.
Cheers, boys. I'm Bridget, and here's what's happening in SA Sport this week. It was a great weekend for SA footy, with both the Power and the Crows scoring important wins. The Power travelled west and absolutely shocked the Eagles, running out the game as 42-point winners. New captain Ollie Wines was back to his best form, racking up a massive 35 disposals in tough conditions. Fingers crossed the Power goes strong tonight when Jared Pollock and the Kangaroos return to Adelaide Oval. Meanwhile, the Crows settled nerves by overcoming a scrappy start to smash the Suns by 73 points. In typical Eddie style, the 300 gamer kicked a bag of 6, including a goal of the year contender. Rory Sloane was also influential with an exceptional 32 disposals. The Crows will travel to Victoria to take on the Saints tomorrow afternoon. To netball now, and SA has done the double, with the under-17 and under-19 state squads claiming gold at the National Championships. The under-17s beat out New South Wales with a close one, finishing the game 5-goal winners. The under-19s, on the other hand, had a comfortable win, beating out New South Wales by 29 goals. But the good news didn't stop there. The 2019 Netball Centre of Excellence national squads named 16 South Aussies in their under-17 and under-19 teams. Well done to all the girls involved. And SA's Mickey Spano and Jane Croxton have been chosen to represent Australia in the Hockeyroos Pro League. Following a hard-fought game against the Kiwis, the squad will travel to South America in a couple weeks' time to take on a strong Argentina outfit. They'll continue to travel over the next couple months to take on the best in women's hockey. But there's more SA women smashing goals. The state's under-18 female lacrosse team got the gold after defeating Victoria in the ALA National Championships. The girls were too strong for the Vics, edging them out to claim a 15-12 victory. The championship wraps up a fantastic campaign for the girls, who looked untouchable throughout the tournament. To basketball, and the SA Metro men have scored silver in the under-18 basketball championship in Townsville. They fell short to Victoria by 10 points in the grand final. Keanu Rasmussen and Sebastian Griffin starred for SA, both filling the stat sheet with points, rebounds and assists. Despite the loss, the boys' impressive run in the championship solidifies them as one of the country's strongest basketball teams. I'm sure they can undoubtedly catch the selector's eye. That's all for this week. Thanks, boys.